from the Bronx Museum of Art. We are here. We are some Pecadores, and we are very glad to be here once again. We are honoring our loved ones who we have lost in the past few years, but especially this year we are here to honor those who we have lost due to the pandemic. So thank you for joining us today. We are Son Pecadores, and we play traditional Mexican folk music from the Gulf of Mexico, from the state of Veracruz. This is called Son Jarocho, and we hope that you enjoy it in this rainy day. Thank you for being here with us. And now, let me introduce my fellow Pecadores. This is Aurelio del Muro in the violin, and this is Mehmet Kuchikosher. And my name is Paula Sanchez, and I will play in the marimba. So we just played El City for you, and now we are going to play El Lelito. Let me clear my foggy glasses.
1, 2, 3.
I think Mehmet has another song in his mind.
I think. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you for all the clapping you're doing in your homes. We can hear you, but we feel it. We feel the love. We feel the love. So anyway, this music comes from the Gulf of Mexico, and it's a blend of African rhythms and instruments, European, Andalusian instruments, and singing too, and some indigenous dancing as well. So it's a wonderful mix, and we are very happy to keep this tradition alive here in New York City. And now we are going to sing for you something a little bit more mellow, and this is El Pájaro Cu. So I have to keep cleaning my glasses because they get very foggy, but better stay safe. So that was El Pájaro Cu, and this music is centuries old and is traditionally played in the countryside of the Gulf of Mexico, the state of Veracruz and parts of Oaxaca and a little bit of Chiapas as well. And all these songs are about all the feelings and things and surroundings that people have over there. So many songs are about animals, just like El Pájaro Cu. Other songs are about love, are about losing love, are about joy, are about life,
About that.
about death as well. And so the next song is a little different. The next song is about a manta, a shawl, or a rebozo. And this song is traditional in weddings where the bride has to weave her own married lady shawl so people know that she's married now. So she has to weave it for months, and then on the day of the wedding, she gets to show it off with this song. So we're gonna do La Manta. Ay, gracias. Casi me voy con los muertos.
Quisiera hablar un poquito de...
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying with us.
Está hablando, está hablando.
Right there? Oh, sorry, I'm like,
Paula.
yes.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about the altar. So we created it, this time I created it with a great artist, Marta Blair, and she helped me create all these beautiful things that we added. But usually the most important things in the altar, I think, is the ofrenda or the food. And I had somebody, a woman from my neighborhood who is a Nahual, from the Nahual community of Guerrero, Doña Lola. She prepared the calabaza and the corn. She made gelatina, and that's too much. I don't know what it is. But anyway, it's such a beautiful thing that somebody from the deep part of Mexico just is part of the ofrenda. And everything else that you may know about it. What else? There is the cempasúchil flowers.
The papel picado, the food, the drinks.
They get water and they get a little bit of salt. And they get mezcal.
The water, the candles, the pictures are important too.
Yeah. There's a Holly Black, she passed away 4 years ago. And she's a grandmother, right?
And these are, of course, all the things that loved ones used to love in life. And so the hope is that with this, they will come back and visit us on this day. And so we can spend a little more time with them.
It was hard to invite the community to, usually would be people put photographs and, as you know, put things and offerings. So it was like a little bit, none of that, but had it as people, my dad is right here. Don't know where it is.
Where's your dad?
Right there,
That's his dad.
Oh, that's his dad. Oh, okay. That's how they use that.
There you go. So, this music is traditionally played in celebrations, community celebrations called fandangos. And fandangos are parties that are improvised where anyone can participate as long as you are willing to share a joyful moment with everybody else. But it's not always about joy. We say that some of the songs are nostalgic songs, and the next song we're going to sing is a little bit nostalgic. It's called El Agua Nieve, and this is a song that is usually played very, very, very late in the fandango, in the early hours, so people can sort of rest and relax a little bit and just sit down and enjoy the music.
What will we do?
Everybody needs to tune in.
These are very traditional instruments and they're handmade. So sometimes because of that, their tuning is sensitive and they could change while we're playing, or because of the changes in the temperature or just the air. So Aurelio is playing a very rustic traditional violin, and so he needs to constantly tune it.
They are handmade, but they are handmade with woods that grow in from trees that grow in Veracruz. It's a tropical state. So sometimes here, when you take them to other places like New York City, they're very, very sensitive to temperature changes. So we have to constantly be tuning them. Okay? So let's see El Agua Nieve.
Sí. ¿Listos? ¿Listos?
Qué bonito, muy bien. Qué bonito bailas, Paula.
Por time, I will be careful.
Okay, qué bonito bailas.
Ah, gracias. Let us tell you a little bit about the instruments. Mehmet is playing jarana tercera. Jaranas come in different sizes, and the size depends on the pitch that you want to project. So the bigger the jarana, the lower the pitch. And Mehmet is playing a jarana tercera, and Aurelio has a jarana primera, which is a smaller one. He's going to show it to you. It doesn't have to do with the size of the person, it's just the sound that you wanna create.
Exactly.
Aurelio is also playing a violin, tusteco, which is a very rustic kind of violin. It's all handmade. Sometimes they do it with a machete or with a very rough instruments. But it sounds very, very beautiful. And it's mostly placed in the sun in the southern part of Veracruz, right? That's where it's more
It's
traditional.
from Los Tuxtlas, this is from San Andres, from Tezcaltitan, a little town next to San Andres.
Yes. I am playing this instrument called marimbol. We call it marimbol in Mexico, but it's come from the Caribbean, and they call it marimbula or marimba. We don't call it marimba in Mexico because we do have an instrument called marimba. This one has a more direct African origin, although it was created in the Caribbean. It's very popular in the Dominican Republic, in Cuba, and some parts of Puerto Rico. And
They have it in Jamaica too.
yeah, it wasn't traditional part of a traditional instrument for some heritage, but in the last few decades it has become very, very popular. And Bronx Museum of Arts for having us once again. We're always very happy to come back. We're going to say goodbye with a very lively song called El Coco.
El Coco?
So El Coco, for those of you who speak Spanish, El Coco is a coconut. It could also be your head. This is your Coco. But it could be the boogeyman, I get El Coco, when you don't behave, your parents might tell you, oh, here comes the Coco. But in Veracruz, El Coco is a bird. It looks like a stork, like a short stork. People used to eat it, like we eat chicken. Unfortunately, there aren't many cocos left in the wild, not because they were eating them, but because of deforestation. We are losing the natural habitat of the coco, so it's very rare to see them in the wild anymore. Let's go, the coco.
Just also to let you know, as you notice in the singing, there's a lot of call and response, and so that actually is this music actually conserves the African tradition of call and response type of music. So that's why there's so much of that in Son Jarocho.
Okay. Gracias. Thank you, everybody.
Gracias.
And hopefully we'll see you in person